last of the 6 needed months of data. So a CPI inflation data was released today. This is what you need to learn the next I bond inflation rate. So let's check in, see what our I bonds be paying out in May of 2025. So I'm going to take a look here first at the official website. So bls.gov is the official website. Let's see here. Get that. Well, let me share my screen. You might want me to do that. 1 second here. All right in front of me. Here we go. Sharing the screen. Perfect. All right. So Bureau Label Statistics CPI. CPI for all items falls 0.1% in March. Gasoline declines. That's a surprise, I believe. They're expecting 2.6% inflation over the last 12 months. It's at 2.4%. So inflation lower than expected. So we'll see how that affects the I bonds. Now that's a 12-month data that's seasonally adjusted. They're talking about this decrease of 0.1%. So let's see what the numbers are. CPIU is what you use for I bonds. So we got to go down in the archives here in the info. All right, 319.799. I'm going to take that info. All right, let's see how the market's reacting. Market down a bit. Um, it seems like CNBC is ignoring inflation almost. Everything's about Trump and tariffs. There it is. Inflation rate eases lower than expected. So lower than expected. But let's see how that plugs into I bonds. I got my info ready to go here. So we got the current rate for I bonds on the inflation rate is 0.95. That's a semi-annual. You got to double that. 1.90 is the current rate. But let's plug in the info and see where that comes in. I got it in green. Okay, so 1.43 is the semi-annual rate. That is, you got to double that. So 2.85. Actually, they technically take that 1.43. So it'll be 2.86. They don't go down to the hundredth or whatever, that'd be the thousandth place. So 2.86 is the I bond inflation rate. So if you have an old I bond and it renews between May and October 2025, so every 6 months they renew, the inflation rate will be 2.86%. What's important also now is the fixed interest rates. There's no formula for that, but David Inna over at Tips Watch, he seems to have the best predictor. He says, take a look at all the rates. I've got all the rates here going back over the last 6 months for real rates. So real interest rates, you see how much they fluctuate. So 6 months ago, they're in the 1.4s, went up to close to 2-ish, came back down. Now they're heading back up again, especially in the 10-year number. But he says take the average of the 5-year number, the 10-year number. I've got that there. And multiply by 0.65. So the 5-year number gives you about 1.1. 10-year number gives you about 1.3. My best guess is it's at 1.2 right now. It's easy to not make a change. If they're leaning one way or another, you see that inflation rates seem to be, or real interest rates rather, seem to be heading a little bit higher recently, more on the higher side. So we'll see. But 1.2, I would say, is likely to stay. So 1.20, which is exactly where it's at right now. Well, let's get the color coding going on there. All right. So we got 1.20 right now. We got 1.90. So let's see here. So your brand new is not quite right, but 3.1. So basically 3% is your I bond rate if you buy in April. 4%, over 4% is the rate when you buy in May. So inflation has ticked up a little bit compared to 6 months ago. About 1 percentage point higher is what you expect to see with the new I bond rate starting in May. Leave your comments. Make sure to subscribe to the Mr. Retirement YouTube channel so that you can get every month our I bond rates and the projections here. And anything retirement, we talk all things retirement. Enjoy your day.